Hey there! We're back with part 2 of our Microsoft 365 User Onboarding Flow with Power Automate series. In our last video, we walked you through the steps of importing Flow, which has included creating users with manager approval and managing notifications for managers. If you're new to this, you can find a link to the previous video in the video description. This time, we've optimized the flow to help you with your Microsoft 365 user provisioning tasks using Power Automate and Excel. In this flow, we start by creating a user with manager approval. Then, we assign a Microsoft 365 license to the created user and update their properties. Next, we'll be adding them to the desired groups and grant access to necessary files in a SharePoint document library based on their department, job title, location, and more such properties. Lastly, we welcome the new user with a warm welcome message in Teams. And let's not forget about Excel. It's like the behind-the-scenes hero in our flow. Inside Excel, we store data about groups and SharePoint files, all depending on user properties. This data includes property names, resource IDs, library names, and file IDs. Why is it important? Well, this data is the fuel that powers our flow, based on which users get the right access to the necessary resources based on their properties. Properties can cover departments, job titles, locations, and more. Resources can be various items such as groups, SharePoint, Teams, etc. We need to modify the workflow based on the added resources. You can obtain this sample Excel sheet from the link provided in the description. You'll need to update the resource data with your tenant-specific information. There's no need to modify the column headings, as we're using dynamic content with these names. Let's take a bird's-eye view of the flow. This flow looks pretty cool, right? So, without further hassle, let's import our pre-built flow into your Power Automate environment. In the Power Automate portal, go to the My Flows page, click Import Package, and upload the Flows package zip file from your File Explorer. The package has been successfully uploaded and is now ready for import. You can save the flow as a new one with a custom name by choosing Create as New. If you have a previous version of the flow, you can update it by selecting Update. Now, let's discuss connections. You'll need to sign in when initially creating the flow, and afterwards, you can easily access authorized accounts with just a single click. If you don't see any existing accounts, click on the Create New option. To create a new connection, click on New Connection and then search for the required connection. Just sign into this connection to access the triggers and actions from that service. If the account isn't visible, click Refresh to update and view the account. With everything set up, go ahead and click on Import to finalize the package import. Once the flow is imported successfully, you can find it in the My Flows tab. By default, it is turned off. To use it, simply turn it on. There will be some modifications required to run this imported flow within your environment. To assign a Microsoft 365 license to a new user, you need to have a security group assigned with a license to that group. So that, when the user is added to this group, they will automatically be assigned with the corresponding license. Simply replace the group ID with the ID of your specific security group in this field. Then, in this section, you'll find these two compose actions, which are added solely for the purpose of importing without any hassle. You can go ahead and remove these compose actions as they are not required. In the List Rows from Excel action, you can select the details of your Excel file from the drop-down menu. Make sure to review the other steps to ensure they do not have any errors. In the last step, Post Message in Teams, select the desired team and channel from the drop-down, and customize the message as needed. Save the flow. And it's now ready to run. Click Test and select the manual option to start testing. Enter the new user's required details. And run the flow. You can verify the flow's run history to ensure that it is operating smoothly. The approval request is now sent to the manager through both Teams, Outlook, and it is also available in the Approvals section in Power Automate portal. In Teams, you can locate this approval request in the Approvals section on the left side. In this approval request, you will find the new user's details along with the approve and reject options. In Outlook, you will receive an approval request email containing the user's details. The manager will review the user details and then give their approval by clicking Approve to proceed with onboarding the new user. Now, let's look at the flow's run history. We've added a delay action, which means there will be a 2-minute wait before moving on to the next steps. This is added to ensure that the license assignment happens successfully after the user is created. Following this, the flow will spend some time in the comparison loop process where it compares the provided property values with values in Excel. The time it takes will depend on the number of rows in the Excel sheet. That's it. Your flow's run has been successfully completed. In the Admin Center, simply search for the new user, and you'll find their profile there. Here, you can see the group to which the user has been added. Manager's details. In the contact information, you can see the updated properties. Additionally, in the license section, you can view the license assigned to the user. In the SharePoint Sites document library, within the Documents Information section, you can verify that it has been shared with the new user. Lastly, in Teams, you will come across the welcome message for the new user. Don't forget to give them a warm welcome with message reactions. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. You can get the step-by-step guide on how to create the flow by clicking on the link provided in the blog's description. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask in the comment section below. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more useful guides coming your way. Also, remember to follow AdminDroid on Reddit, LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook for additional tips, updates, and discussions.